Now, from the business news, we're going to take you now to today's paper review. One of our top stories, of course, that news over Azerbaijan claiming sovereignty over Nagorno-Karabakh. And Leo is with us. He's been looking at what the press in both Armenia and Azerbaijan are saying about it, haven't you, Leo?
As we've been hearing all day, Azerbaijan have claimed victory in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. We'll start here with the Erupt paper, which is a daily Armenian publication. They report that the Karabakh forces had no choice but to accept the deal brokered by Russian peacekeeping forces. They simply could not afford the severe military and humanitarian consequences. Karabakh representatives and Azerbaijani officials will start talks today on the region's possible reintegration into Azerbaijan. Let's compare this to the lead story in Azer News, which is Azerbaijani's top English publication. They accuse Armenian forces of provocations while praising Azerbaijani diplomacy. They say that Azerbaijan had no option but to take stricter steps with their so-called anti-terror operation and celebrates what it calls the elimination of an illegal Armenian regime. I'll show you quickly some international reactions to the story. This is the Wall Street Journal. They focus on what this means for Russia. They say it's a blow for Russia. It signals the decline of Russian influence in former Soviet territories, with the Kremlin using conflict to maintain sway over both Armenia and Azerbaijan in the past. Moscow has sent both weapons and peacekeepers to the region. Russian peacekeepers' inability to stop Azerbaijan from violating the terms of a 2020 ceasefire brought criticism for Armenia, and therefore it caused a chill in relations between Moscow and Yerevan.
UK for this next story now. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has caused a stir by supposedly, or definitely according to his critics, backtracking on certain promises.
Yeah, this story has very much dominated the UK press this morning, Stuart. I'll show you the eye to start. We can see Rishi Sunak in green there, a bit like the Hulk. His government has pushed back a ban on new diesel and petrol cars by 5 years. The eye call it an election gamble. Of course, an election will be called sometime in the next 18 months. In a speech last night, the PM said that he could not impose unacceptable costs on British families. He denies that he's watering down the Conservatives' net zero commitments and said that the UK are on track to beat net zero by 2050. He has been accused of weaponising that term net zero in a bid to try and win back voters. The Financial Times say car makers oppose the delays. They say they're absolutely furious. They've already spent billions on transforming themselves into getting ready for electric cars. They're absolutely furious, according to the Financial Times. We'll look at this opinion piece in The Guardian. This is from Caroline Lucas, former Green Party leader, Green Party MP for Brighton. She unsurprisingly has heavily criticised the Conservative U-turn. She calls it toxic. She said that time is up for Rishi Sunak. She notes that the environment has always been a priority for Tories until it's not. She ends by claiming that Sunak is using the environment as a political device, and it's just going to further that divide between Sunak and the people.
Nigeria now. The death of a popular artist has caused uproar. Protests taking place in several cities across the country.
Yeah, so this story revolves around the death of 27-year-old artist MohBad. He died last week in hospital, but the circumstances of his death are very unclear at the moment. Previously, MohBad had posted videos that he'd been under attack from members of a record label that he had quit to go solo. This is from The Punch, which is one of Nigeria's most read newspapers. They report that a group staged a protest at the Lagos State House of Assembly yesterday under the moniker Justice for MohBad. They are demanding answers. They say they will keep on protesting until they find out what happens. This is from Vanguard. They also are talking about the protest, saying that they're picking up steam, saying lots of celebrities have actually come towards the protest. One of Nollywood's leading actresses, Ayabo Ojo, she was leading that protest in Lagos. And I'll finish this Africa News. They report that a probe has been launched. The Lagos state government are inviting Nigeria's secret police to participate in the inquiry.
And Leo's leaving us now in South America. The news is security forces reclaiming a prison in Venezuela.
Yeah, rather extraordinary story, this one, Stuart, in Venezuela, as you say. I'll show you the Journal. 11,000 army officials were sent to this prison. There's only 6,000 prisoners in the gang, but they were sent to reclaim it. According to local media members, prisoners were able to just roam freely, and they had hotel-like facilities, including a pool, nightclub, and a mini zoo. So those 6,000 prisoners will be now transferred to another prison. I mentioned a zoo, and hopefully I can show you this video. This is from the exterior. Army forces recorded this. We can see flamingos in the background, so it really was a hotel that they were living in. And journalists said they saw security guards carrying motorcycles, televisions, and microwaves out of the jail. So it seems like they didn't have such a bad life after all. Stuart.
No, I want to know how on earth they got the flamingos in there past security. I assume they didn't have a scanner. Thanks a lot, Leah, with the papers on France 24. Latest news straight after the break. Stay with us.